Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Dear viewers, I am Yashree Dixit. In today's session, I am going to discuss Auditor, in which I am going to discuss appointment of statutory auditor, power of auditor, appointment of internal auditor, appointment of cost auditor and appointment of secretarial auditor. So viewers, by the end of this session, you would be able to understand number first, to understand the concept of statutory auditor. Number second, to explain the concept of internal auditor. Number third, to explain the concept of cost auditor. And number four, to explain the concept of secretarial auditor. Now, let's discuss statutory audit. Statutory audit is another name of a financial audit. It is essential an audit of the finance statement of a company, that is the profit and loss and the balance sheet. The purpose of a statutory audit is to ensure that these accounts of the company represent a fair and accurate picture of the company's current financial position on the date of the balance sheet. It is important that we understand the needs for a statutory audit to be carried out. In case of a company, the owners of the company are the shareholders. However, they do not run or manage the day-to-day affairs of the company. This is done by the board of directors and the management of the company. Now, let's discuss appointment of statutory auditor. The provision relating to statutory audit and auditors is the section 139 to 147 of the New Companies Act 2013. It states the method of appointing an auditor, the eligibility of statutory auditor and the duties and responsibility of such an auditor. In which number first, the appointment of first auditor. To conduct audit of the company, the first auditor must be appointed by the board of directors within a period of 30 days from the date of incorporation of the company. An auditor means a chartered accountant or a firm of chartered accountants which is qualified to be the auditor of the company and who have given his consent to be appointed as audit of the company. However, in case of the board of directors fails to appoint the first auditors, then the shareholders of the company in the extraordinary general meeting can appoint the first auditor within 90 days. Number second, appointment of subsequent auditor. In the first general meeting, the auditor needs to be appointed to hold office for a period of 5 years. However, the appointment of auditor must be ratified in every subsequent annual general meeting. Who are eligible to appoint as a statutory auditor? Number first, every practicing chartered accountant is eligible to be appointed as statutory auditor. Number second, the chartered accountant firm or LLP can be appointed as an auditor of a company when a majority of partners are practicing chartered accountant in India and are qualified for appointment. Who is disqualified to act as an auditor? Number first, any person who is an officer or an employee of the company. Number second, any body corporate other than LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. Number third, any person whose relative is a director of the company or who is a position of key managerial personnel in the company. Number four, any person convicted by the court of any offence involving fraud and a tenure of 10 years has not elapsed from the date of his conviction. Number five, any person who is a partner or who is in the employment of an officer or employee of the company. Number six, any person or a firm who whether directly or indirectly has a business relationship with the company or its subsidiary or its holding or associate company or subsidiary of such holding company or associate company of such nature. Number seven, the person who is in full-time employment elsewhere or a person who are partner of a firm holding appointment as its auditor more than 20 companies. Now, let's discuss powers of statutory auditor. Number first, right to access books of accounts. The auditor has right to inspect the books of accounts, vouchers of the company, whether kept at the head office or elsewhere. The right to access books and records maintained at the register office as well as at any branches of the company. Number second, right to obtain information and explanation from officers. The auditor can obtain information and explanation from the officers of the company whenever he may think necessary. The auditor would not be able to obtain details from the directors or any other company which he cannot be able to find from observing the books if such power has not given power. Number third, right to attend general meeting. The auditors have a right to attend all the general meeting of the company, whether in meeting in accounts audited by them are going to discuss or not. The auditor should also be entitled to receive all the notices and to be heard at any general meetings. The auditor shall always attend the meeting to bring the notice of the shareholders any matter which has come to his knowledge during an audit. Now, let's discuss duties of statutory auditor. Number first, the auditor has to inquire whether loans and advances made by the company on the basis of security have been properly secured and whether the terms of which they have been made are not prejudicial to the interest of the company or its members. Number second, the auditor shall inquire the entries made in the books are not prejudicial. Number third, he shall inquire about the company whether it is an investment company and if not, whether the asset of the company consisting of shares and debentures. Number four, he should also check whether loans and advances made by the company have been shown as deposits. Number five, he should verify whether the personal expenses have been charged to revenue account. Number 6, in case if in the books of accounts it has been stated that if any shares have been allotted for cash, he has to verify whether the cash has actually been received in respect of such allotment. Now, we'll discuss responsibility of statutory auditor. Number first, all the functions of the unit shall be audited and shall develop a familiarity with the organization. Number second, an auditor shall pre-plan the audit in accordance with the scope and complexity of the area which is under review. Number third, an auditor shall perform the assigned task in independent and self-directed fashion. Number 4, the task shall be completed in timely, accurate and well-documented manner. Number 5, an auditor shall conduct himself in a professional manner at all times, also shall avoid those situations which can lead to criticism by the area being audited or by the general public. Number 6, the auditor shall maintain records at all times in the same or better condition in which they were found. Number 7, the auditor shall accept all the responsibility and accountability for the audit work performed on assigned projects. Now, we'll discuss restricted services for statutory auditor. The statutory auditor shall not take any assignment of the company while servicing the statutory audit. The statutory auditor is entitled to take those assignments which are approved by the Board of Directors in its meeting. The following are the services statutory auditor cannot take of the company or its holding or subsidiary company: accounting or bookkeeping services, internal audit of the company, designing and implementation of any financial information system of the company, the actuarial service, investment advisory service of the company, investment banking service of the company, any financial outsource services of the company, any management services. Now, we will discuss internal auditor. Internal audit is a check to assess the risk management and to ensure that risk management processes are efficient, effective, secure and compliant. It is the basic check of internal control of the organization. An internal audit is an organizational move to check, ensure, monitor and analyze its own business operation in order to determine how well it conforms to a set of specific criteria. Now, we will discuss appointment of internal auditor. As per section 138 of the Indian Companies Act 2013 read with the Rule 13 of Companies Accounts Rules 2014, certain classes of companies are required to appoint internal auditors. The following class of companies shall be required to appoint an internal auditor or a firm of internal auditors, namely, number first, every listed company, number second, every unlisted public company having paid up share capital of 50 crore rupees or more during the preceding financial year, or turnover of 200 crore rupees or more during the preceding financial year, outstanding loans or borrowings from banks or public financial institution exceeding 100 crore rupees or more at any point of time during preceding financial year, outstanding deposits of 25 crores rupees or more at any point of time during the preceding financial year, and every private company having turnover of 200 crore rupees or more during the preceding financial year, or outstanding loans or borrowings from banks or financial institution exceeding 100 crore rupees or more at any point of time during the preceding financial year. Now, we will discuss scope of internal audit. Internal audit is an independent function involving continuous and critical appraisal of the functioning of an organization with a view to suggest improvements thereto and add value to the governance mechanism of the organization. It helps the organization to evaluate the effectiveness of risk management and internal control implemented and provides recommendation for improvement. Internal auditors are not responsible for execution of company activities. However, they provide the management and board of directors an insight into operative effectiveness with which the activities are being carried out within the regulatory framework. Now, we will discuss cost auditor. According to Section 148, subsection 3 of Companies Act 2013, cost audit shall be conducted by cost accountant in practice, who shall be appointed by the board on such remuneration as determined by the members in such a manner as may be prescribed. No person appointed under Section 139 as an auditor of the company shall be appointed for conducting the audit of cost records. The board shall appoint an individual who is a cost accountant in practice or a firm of cost accountant in a practice as cost auditor on recommendation of audit committee, who shall also recommend the remuneration of cost auditor. The remuneration recommended by audit committee shall be considered and approved by board of directors and ratified subsequently by shareholders. In case of other companies which are not required to constitute audit committee, the board shall appoint an individual who is a cost accountant in a practice or a firm of cost accountant in a practice as cost auditor, and remuneration of such cost auditor shall be ratified by shareholders subsequently. Cost audit report means a duly signed cost auditor's report on the cost records examined and cost statements which are prepared as per these rules, including attachment, annexure, qualifications or observations attached with or included in such report. Cost records. The central government may, by order in respect of such class of companies, engage in the production of such goods or providing such services as may be prescribed, direct that particulars relating to utilization of material or labor or to other items of cost as may be prescribed shall also be included in the books of account kept by that class of companies. The cost record shall be maintained on a regular basis in such a manner as to facilitate calculation of per unit cost of production or cost of operations, cost of sales and margin for each of its products and activities for every financial year on a monthly or a quarterly or a half yearly or annual basis. The company is engaged in the production of the goods or providing services specified in the tables and have an overall turnover from all its products and services of rupees 35 crores or more during the immediately preceding financial year shall include cost records for such products or services in their books of accounts. Now we will discuss secretarial auditor. Secretarial audit is introduced by recently enacted Companies Act 2013. It is a process to check compliance made by company under corporate law and other laws, rules, regulations, procedures, etc. It is a mechanism to monitor compliance with the requirements of stated laws and processes. Periodically, examination of work is necessary to point out errors and mistakes and to make a robust compliance mechanism system in an organization. Every company needs to comply hundreds of laws, rules and regulations. These laws are complex and non-compliances would attract major risks to company. Periodically, inspecting the records of company gives exact information whether and if so, to what extent company has complied with the laws applicable to the company. Now, we will discuss to which company secretarial audit is mandatory. As per Section 204 of the Companies Act 2013, read with the Company's Appointment and Remuneration of Managerial Person Rules 2014, following companies are required to obtain secretarial audit report from independent practicing company secretary. Number first, every listed company. Number second, every public company having a paid up share capital of 50 crore rupees or more. Number third, every public company having a turnover of 250 crore rupees or more. Who can be appointed as secretarial auditor? Only a member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India holding certificate of practice, company secretary in practice can conduct secretarial audit and furnish the secretarial audit report to the company. Now, we will discuss appointment of secretarial auditor. As per Rule 8 of the Company's Meetings of Board and its Powers, Rules 2014, secretarial auditor is required to be appointed by means of resolution passed at a duly convened board meeting, and resolution for appointment shall be filed with the registrar of companies within 30 days in E-Form MJT 14. Now, we will discuss power to secretarial auditor. The Companies Act 2013 has empowered secretarial auditor and has given him all rights and powers as given to statutory auditor. As per Section 204 of the Companies Act 2013, the secretarial auditor company shall be entitled to require from the officers of the company such information and explanation as he may be considered necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. So friends, let us summarize the session. We discuss number first, to conduct audit of the company, the first auditor must be appointed by the board of directors within a period of 30 days from the date of incorporation of company. Number second, internal audit is a check to assess the risk management and to ensure that risk management processes are efficient, effective, secure and compliant. Number third, cost audit shall be conducted by cost accountant in practice who shall be appointed by the board on such remuneration as determined by the members. Number 4, secretarial audit is introduced by recently enacted Companies Act 2013. It is a process to check compliances made by the company under corporate law and other laws, rules, regulations and procedures, etc. I hope this session would have made your concept for appointment of statutory auditor, power of statutory auditor, appointment of internal auditor, appointment of cost auditor and appointment of secretarial auditor very clear. I hope you have enjoyed this session.